Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel in 2026. This is Lex with Lex Plans and Plants, and today I'm going to do a flip through of my 2025 Hobonichi cousin, talk about what I loved, talk about what I'm carrying over into next year, and give some examples of how I used it. So to start off, I got this cover in 2024, so I've used it for 2 years now, loved it. It obviously has some wear around the edges, which is totally fine, but nothing ripped, nothing got like damaged really, or like nothing was so bad about it that I was like, oh my god, gotta get rid of it. But I did get a new cover for 2026, just to switch it up. On the inside here, I filled this side over here with stickers from Coffee Monsters Co. There's some from Simply Gilded. I have little bits and bobs from different sticker sets. I have like a character card from Haiku, little notes from my fiance, more stickers from different shops that like just fit in here, so I shoved them in there, as well as a sheet of tabs that I used. So on the cover page here, I used just any sticker that at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I love this, I want to see it more often than just on a daily page. So that's what I did. You can, I don't know if you can see, but there you can kind of see glue right here, because at one point in time I did glue a little tab sheet, like this type of little clear tab right here. I had that glued right here, and then I realized that I didn't want it there anymore, so I took it off and stuck a bear. But this page, as well as this page, were stickers that I was like, oh my gosh, I love these, I want to see them more often. So that's how I decorated those. I never used this calendar page, and then moving on into my year at a glance, I started very inconsistently tracking my workouts, and then towards the end here I got way more consistent, and I do plan to continue this over into 2026. Tracking workouts, tracking weight, tracking if I played volleyball, if I went for a run, that kind of stuff. And then in the monthlies, I did most of them this year, but not all of them, which I was fine with, because I really only, actually, I may have done them all. Did I do them all? I did. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. Okay, well, you can see I did make use of my monthly pages. I did start out doing like a checklist on the sides of them. Very quickly realized I never referred back to that checklist and stopped making it. Oopsies. Stick. There we go. Well, that's one thing I'm very proud of, is I did every monthly layout of the year. And you can see as I'm quickly flipping through that some are very decorated, some are not. And I'll kind of talk about that later in the video. But moving on, and I never used the first months of 2026 or like the following year. Moving on into the weeklies, I think you can kind of see, if I just hold them up, how, I don't know if it doesn't come off well on camera, but earlier in the year, there's not as much decoration on them. And later in the year, you can kind of see I started using washi at the bottom, at the top, and just kind of referencing them more. So like the paper is a little more ruffled. But this planner, I've had Hobonichi cousins for, this is my 3rd year in them. And then this year I finally felt like I lived in this planner. That mostly is apparent in like the dailies, but through the weeklies you can kind of see just, sometimes I didn't use them, but when I did, I used them. Or I would just like stick a note in them, but I did use them fairly often, which is more than I can say for last year's. So, as I just mentioned, this year I finally felt like I really lived in this planner, and I think the dailies are a very good, oops, this is not in the middle. I think the daily pages are a very good picture of that, because you can see in the beginning of the year, they're very white, especially in like June and July. It almost looks like I didn't touch them because I honestly barely did. And then sometime around August, I was like, oh yeah, this is my planner. Like, this is my book, and I can do whatever I want in my book. So in the beginning of the year, I kind of used it like very basic, as I'm going to quickly flip through here. Very, very basic. I tracked my day. I tracked like random stuff. I wrote down things I ate. Every now and then I would use a sticker. Every now and then I would use a picture. Sometimes I would write little bits and pieces. And then in April, I was like, oh yeah, like I can use stickers. I can use washi tape on my dailies. I can match my washi tape to my weeklies. I started putting, like, whenever I decorated my weeklies, I started putting like the empty sticker sheet in my notebook. I was like, oh yeah, I can collage in here. More washi, more odds and ends, post-it notes, stickers. Like, I just started using it more as the year went on. And then I also started adding more tabs. So you can see that like I have my monthly tabs right here, but then every time I traveled, I would tab the first page of that travel, and I would write in where I went. So if I wanted to go to, when I went camping in Uray, I would just flip to that, and then I can see like what I did those days. And then every time I travel back to see my family, those are at the top, as well as my goals throughout the year, like goals number 1, and then 6 months in I did a goals number 2. I don't think I added those really until I did goals number 2 and realized that I can tab whatever I want to tab because it's my planner. But as you can see, just going from like January to April, I've really started to add more into the planner. And then continuing on into, what is this, June? Oh, this is May. I added more doodles, I added more stickers, I added post-it notes, burrito stickers. I started, like, if I needed to journal, then I journaled. I added food stickers, calligraphy, notes, and June was a little lackluster in terms of extreme decoration, which is fine. Like, we had a road trip for a couple days, so there wasn't much I really put on those days, except I did a cafe sticker, I guess. July continued with the like sticker sheet thing, tested some pens, wrote some notes. Again, just continuing on with the sticker trend. And then I think honestly this was the page where I was like, oh, like this is my planner. Like, I can do whatever I want. It is an aesthetic crash out of a planner. I couldn't sleep. I cussed in my planner. I put crazy stickers. I wrote, but first I'm gonna cry, ranting. And for some reason I came back to this page a lot and just looked at it and was like, whoa, yeah, like this isn't just a planner anymore. This is also like my journal, my rant, my crazy sticker planner. I can use whatever I want in here. And then from there, you can see how things kind of just like went up from there. Like, I had journals, I had more journaling, I had goals, hospital sticker things. But from then on, really, except for this page, from then on, the pages really filled up. I used like everything that I wanted to put in here. I put in here. I used checklists. I started using washi on the sides. If I wanted to stick a sticker in there, I stuck a sticker in there. If I wanted to cover the page in stickers, I covered the page in stickers. Doodles, ranting, and collaging. But like you can just see how I just really started to like live in this planner. And then I also had like a couple note sheets that I wanted to keep on certain days, so I just stuck a little tab on them and stuck them in here. And you can tell the day I got some stuff from Simply Gilded. One, because what was this? There we go. That was there. One, because I stuck it in here, and two, the washi. I started using washi on everything. And I think that just like made the planner feel so much more mine than just keeping it blank. And I also realized very quickly that I did not like when my timelines were covered. So like in the beginning here, you can see that these like really thick washi covered the numbers. So I cut it, and then I realized that I have other washi I can use that's kind of see-through, and I'll put that on this side, and then I can put thicker washi on the other side. As long as I can see the numbers on the left-hand side, I am good. But you can see, like, if I needed more places to write, like, I just taped in an extra page and I just wrote. If I wanted to stick like stuff in here, I did. I got new pens and I used whatever color I wanted. But so this planner just really grew into like mine. I was sick, so I cut out the cough drop logo and put it in here. I stuck notes like day to day from my fiance in here. I stuck food stickers like the burrito wrapper sticker, the coffee from Starbucks sticker, apple stickers. Like as I'm flipping through, you'll just see that kind of stuff. Like I got, what is this? Oh, a receipt, a piece of packaging, a sticker. When I received my Hobonichi, this was on a sweater that had like a little pouch in it. Like you can just really see how I lived in this planner. This one was from like a gift, more of just like ranting on different pages. I found my wedding dress, like a very sleepy cat sticker, all the way up until yesterday, basically. And that is how I really how I felt like I really developed in terms of using this planner. Because if you looked back on like 2024 and 2023, most of the pages would look kind of like they did in the early 2025 planner. They're pretty blank. Sometimes they had a sticker, sometimes they had a post-it note, sometimes they had like something taped in them, but nothing really as lived in like the end of this year was. And I intend to carry that vibe of whatever I want to put in my planner, I'll put in my planner into 2026. So hopefully, as you see my planner through the year, you'll kind of get that vibe still. Now onto the pages in the back here. Partway through the year, I realized that I can decorate things better as well. So like I added this bow to, this was my bookmark for my daily page. And then I added some washi tape to a, what is this? Paper clip to clip my reading log into the back here. I also added like tabs for literally every page. So there's that. But I used this bookmark as my reading log. But next year I'm going to write it out on the New Year's page. Hello? On this page. I'm going to turn this page into my reading log, the ones between the weekly and the daily. So you can see, like, I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of books. I read a lot of manga this year. Let me get my paper clip back. And then this was my to be read list. I had a list of like random prayers throughout the year, stuff I wanted to build in Minecraft, to buy list, content ideas. This was me trying to track the remaining videos, which I can now cross off that weekly. And this one, because I'm filming it right now. But I also had a list of like hikes I wanted to do, and then also the 100 things in 25. I did not like that they did only one page for the 100 things in 2025, but I saw that in 2026 it went back to 2 pages, at least in the English version. So I'm very excited about that. And then I really didn't use the end of this book almost at all because I don't know what it says. I'm still learning Japanese, so I cannot read all of this. But I did like a pen test or something here for some reason. But now, let me get a sip of my coffee before I get into this section. Actually, no, I'll do this last. Let me go back to the front here so that I can give a very synopsis, like a very specific walkthrough of this, of different ways that I use this, so that going into 2026, people can just like see different ways to use this. So in the monthlies, as I flipped through, you could probably tell that there was a lot of different decorations, but you can 100% just use like a pen and like a post-it note. This is the most basic monthly I had. It was a busy month, as you can tell. There was something almost every day. So I just used a pen. I didn't have a lot of time to fill it out. Just did the basics. Or you could do something more dramatic, like I did here in October, and November actually. They are covered in stickers on theme, like this was a Harry Potter theme. I used the new washi I had to look like spells. I filled in the bottom with books, covered it in stickers, used color coordinated pens, used color coordinated markers to make little like highlights basically, covered it in stickers. You can do this 100%, but you can also do this. It just depends on like your own preference, your own time, like how you want to spend it. So same thing with the weeklies. You can do a very basic weekly layout like this. I think the week before was also the same. Like, yeah, I used a highlighter and a couple pens, and I used a very like minimal stickers. You can do that if you don't have a lot of time, or you can do something like this. You can coat the edges in washi. You can do color coordinated. These are actually like stickers. You can do color coordinated stickers and pens. You can do habit tracking on the side, but you can also do this. And either way, it is perfectly fine. Again, it is your planner, and these are just some ideas of like how to use things. Now, on to the dailies. I have a lot of tabs for the dailies because I did a lot of different things in them. This would be, in my example of like a minimal setup, I just had the basic checklists. I filled out what I did in the day. I put a payday sticker here because it was a Friday and it was payday. I put a sticker here because I wanted to. So this would be what I would say is like a minimal setup, which is 100% fine to use. If this is what you want, this is what you want. You can also test different layouts. Like I tried to block out different things. Like this said notes, brainstormings, gratitudes, habits. I tried to do some checklists here. I tried to block out times. Like you can test different layouts. There are 365 days in the year, and no matter what you do on each page, like you're still gonna turn the page to a new one. So if you don't like the layout, just turn the page and move on, because obviously the next day I did not do that layout. You can also, if you want it to look more like a doodle book, you can doodle. You can doodle and it can match what you did that day, or you can put pictures in here and you can put little things around them. You can make it look more like a scrapbook if you wanted to. 100% you can. Like, I think I had pictures and doodles for this week. I just wanted it to be extra cute because my sister was visiting. So that's what I did. I just made it like a cute little week from when she visited. You can put receipts in your planner. This was when I went out for like brunch with some friends. I put a receipt here, I filled it up with stickers around it, and that's just what I wanted. You can make it look like a little like junk, quote unquote, junk journal if you wanted to. As well, you can put receipts, you can put tags, you can put, like I said, fruit stickers, you can put bits and bobs from gifts and packaging. I think all of those I sort of showed earlier in the video, but you can put receipts in here, you can decorate it, you can make it look pretty. You can put collages in your planner. I still have a checklist, I still had my time blocks, but I made a collage here. I made a little collage here. I made one on the bottom of this page, but you don't have to. I only did this a couple times, but I wanted to, so I did. And then going along with that like receipt or junk journal theme, you can stick stickers in here. This way I tore it off a burrito wrapper. This was from like a pepper. Another receipt. Like, you can do what you want in your planner. You can also put bits from like Happy Mail in here. I got a shipment from Sugarloop, and it had little bits of washi tape. It had little stickers on the wrapper. Took them off, stuck them in my planner. You can use your planner as a journal. As I said before, I had a lot to say this day. So I flipped it open, I wrote all this here, I wrote all of this on this, and then I taped it down, and I continued to write more on the back. And then Wednesday, I also had a lot to say, apparently. But I still had a checklist, I still had my little timeline that I fill out pretty much every day, and I used all of my space for journaling, but I still had Honeycrisp stickers in here. I still had little fun stickers in here. You can fill this planner. It is so good. You can also use it kind of more like a, like a junk journal. Here, I stuck, what are these tags from the thrift store? And then this was a cover for face masks. So you can use it kind of like a junk journal. I didn't use this as like a full, what I would say like aesthetic junk journal. I didn't put wrappers in here every day, but I stuck little bits and bobs in here, like tags, receipts, stickers from packaging, stickers from coffee. This was when I was in urgent care. Like, I stuck bits and bobs in here from random things throughout the year. So those are just some examples of how you can use your planner to the absolute fullest, whatever makes you the happiest, honestly. And I pushed this way too far up. Why didn't anyone tell me I was out of frame? Anyways, like, you can make this yours. I know people make it acidic, people make it really rigid in how they use it, but you can develop your style as the year goes on. You can change, you can try new things, because like I said, like whatever you do, if you don't like it, the next day you get to just turn the page to a new day and you can try something new. So those were just a couple like brief overview things of how I used my Hobonichi this year. Now on to the last page. I do need another sip of coffee though. Okay. We are good. So on how I use the last page is I collect the stickers and like the cards from all of my stationery orders throughout the year. So this, I guess I'll call it like my shout out section. I ordered from Plum Sticker Co. I I probably should like collect what I actually ordered from them, but you can see it on my Instagram. I think under my highlight of shopping, you can see them, but I ordered from Plum Sticker Co. I ordered from Pastel Mafia. Actually, I think somebody else ordered this from me. I ordered from Coffee Monsters Co., Engineered by Alex, Sugar Loop, Simply Gilded, Washi Tape Shop. This is Cap Doodle and Cat, which was a present. This was the Confident Engineer, which had some of the engineering stickers I used for my work planner on. This one was engineered by Alex. Wild Oak stickers. Oy. This is stuck, sorry. Oh, what was this one? This one might go with Wild Oak. I don't remember. They might be the same, from the same order. Perky Pencil was this one, and it came with this, and there was a little freebie sticker here. Daily Grace, I ordered a Bible study. Oh, Neo Rose was where I got a bunch of like anime stuff from, like this haiku card. It also came with like little pictures of all the characters, magnets with some characters on it, little, it almost looked like photo booth strips with the characters on it. So that's what I got from them. And then Coffee Monsters Co. So shout out to all of these places that either I ordered from or I was gifted stationery from. All of them I was very happy with. I will probably be ordering from most of these places again in 2026. But this is just how I use the back page of my Hobonichi cousin. It's to store and remember everywhere they ordered from. So with that, yeah, with that, I believe that's a wrap for my 2025 Hobonichi cousin. I will be doing my 2026 setup off camera and then doing a quick little flip through of it on camera soon. So I hope to see you all at that video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of planner content, and I will see you all in the next one. Happy 2026, everybody. Bye.